the England versus Australia centenary test match at Lord's in 1980. Now, centenary of what? It was a centenary, or 100 years, of the first test match was ever played in England. So it was quite a memorable occasion. Now, the two teams lining up, a lot of good players. England had Gooch and Boycott as openers. Billy Athy was making his debut. Gower and Gatting and Botham were big names. Australia had their great batsman Greg Chappell as captain. Kim Hughes was a good player coming on the scene, and Alan Border, Rod Nash, and the two quick bowlers of Dennis Lilly and Len Pascoe. Well, it was a good pitch. Australia won the toss, had no hesitation in batting, and we'll pick up play early in their innings.
And that flushed at catchable height through a gap there, and it's raced away for 4 runs. That short pulled away very nicely indeed, 4 runs. Well, he's found the gap all right this time. Well, he threw the bat. It wasn't a half volley by any means. Bruce Laird had been pinned down a little bit there, cutting loose and crushing his first boundary. At a bad ball, the loosener short outside the off stump, and a nice pleasant gift there for Bruce Laird.
Good shot. Nicely over the top of that. No third man. 4 runs. And he's hit that for 4. And no one's going to complain too much about that, other than the bowler, who for one moment must have thought that Wood was a little bit too far away from the ball.
Both of them again to Wood. That's short, that's powered away through mid-wicket without any trouble at all. .64 without loss. It's Laird facing Old. And that's gone surely. Little flick. No problem at all. The first wicket goes down, and Bruce Laird on his way without having to worry the umpire. A little bit of lift and life. 24 to Bruce Laird on the first Australian wicket, going down with a total on 64. That's beaten Gower, beautifully placed. Both in giving chase and also giving up. Both of them battling away again from the nursery end. That's off the back foot, beautifully placed by Chappell. Lovely shot, 4 from the moment it left the bat. Beauty there from Chappell. And everything so right about it. Time into perfection, allowed the ball to come on, gently placed his foot exactly where it should go and stroked it through the offside again. Oh, it's chopped away wide the slip. Bairstow unavailing little jog away after it. Steered away too through the vacant area between slip and gully, and it brings 50 to Graham Wood. The 2 good shots played with a lot of dogged determination here this morning, and goes through to his first 50 in this country in a test match out of a total of 91 for 1.
Very nice piece of timing from Graham Wood there. That's one of the best shots he's played all day. Up comes the 100 for Australia, 103 for 1.
Short again, it's 4 more. Chappell quite happy to wait for any loose delivery, making the most of it again. And that's another lovely shot, just worked off the body. It wasn't all that short. So with Chappell, that's a 3rd boundary off Graham Gooch, and possibly the Essex batsman will now take his sweater. Short again, and superbly pull the field mid-wicket by Chappell. This innings gathering momentum. A smile there from Hendrick. He knew it was an error. And again, got into position so nicely, so quickly. This man, Greg Chappell, sensed that was going to be short. Quickly onto the back foot. Worked it away again through the onside. Goes on now to 42.
It's in the air, but splitting the gap between Old and Gillespie. Gillespie eventually doing the chasing. 3 to Graham Wood. That's a lovely piece of bowling. And he's gone. 150 for 2. And that is just reward for Chris Old. He's turned in a fine spell since tea, and he picked up Laird's wicket early on. Now he has both Laird and Chappell. Just 3 short of his half-century, Greg.
That's another bad ball, which gets the treatment. Much too short there from John Embry. That's a perfectly good shot too. This ball from Chris Old driven straight. And Boycott doing the fielding, but Graham Wood will go through for 3 there. That's certainly a more acceptable over rate by England. And this test match here kept the overs ticking by quite nicely. And he's come down the wicket again, and it's only in once again by hairbreadth. Really has tried to commit batting suicide on so many times, it's not true. Switching ends now, coming in from the pavilion end. And that's pushed. Just stroked through mid-wicket. David Garr doing the fielding. That's a good shot. Over-pitched, pleasant half volley, and cracked through mid-off. Boycott just about to give up the chase. And that's the 200 up. Also brings up 50 partnership between these two. So 201 on the board. Partnership worth 51, which has come in just about 45 minutes. And has pushed that away to the short of these 2 boundaries, and it runs down that hill very quickly towards the tavern stand.
Shot. It's a nice, neat stroke, just clipped away over square leg for 6. No real effort in it. It was a very, very good shot from Kim Hughes. He'd have been gone. It's in the air, but it's quite safe. And Graham Wood has made 100 in the first match here way back in 1880. W.G. Grace made the first Test century for England, and now Graham Wood for Australia has made 100 off 244 balls. A marvellous ovation from the crowd, from his teammates. It's his 3rd Test match century, the 6th of his career, And included in that 100 were 9 fours. The second day of the Cornhill Centenary Test match. A gloomy day, I'm afraid. One where there was very little play, as you will know by now. A day very much of reminiscence in all the boxes around the ground, and no more so than in the commentary box, where we had the opportunity to talk to some of the great players of the past and hear their anecdotes and stories of the delight they're having in this week of the Centenary Test match. Well, there was some play this morning before umpires Dickie Bird and David Constant gave the players the option of coming from the field. The light was very bad and steady rain began to fall. We pick up the action now with the second ball of the day. It's Mike Hendrick, and he's bowling to Graham Withers. No addition to the overnight score, 227 for 2, and in the commentary box with me is Tom Graveney. Boycott out at mid-off. Takes me back to the day Joe Solomon's cap fell on his stumps at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Down it goes. Some Australians have established themselves up the back there. Buckleboo, I don't know where that is. Lismore, Australia, I know where that is. And I certainly know where Parramatta High School is because I went to school there. What a lovely way to bring up your half century at Lord's. One of the best strokes Kim Hughes has played. One 6 and 7 4s. And that highest score of 130 not out. Well, he played very well that day against West Indies at Brisbane. Innings where Australia were in desperate trouble. From a crowd there, it was half disappointment, and it was echoed by Hendrick, because that swirled away over Gower's head at cover point. It's just as good a stroke as the one that brought up his half century. Tassie and Grafton, nothing there from Perth at the moment.
And here's a perfect example of the cover drive. Foot right to the pitch of the ball and beautifully through. That 2 runs for Tim Hughes puts up the 100 partnership. And it has been an excellent partnership indeed. The surprise of losing Greg Chappell when he was 47. Kim Hughes has come in, played very, very well, and Wood has joined him. A very, very good partnership indeed.
That wasn't a bad piece of calling, actually, because Hughes was very definite. He started off and then sent Wood back very quickly.
And once again, Kim Hughes came straight down the middle of the wicket when he played that ball. And David Constant has had a word with him.
Hendrick again to Hughes. Miscalculation there. Streaky inside edge. So they're doing the chasing. They're coming back for the 3rd run. And not too much joy there for Mike Hendrick. Could so easily have dragged that one onto his wicket. Score now on 112. And John Embry is off spinners from the far end. And he's gone. A beautiful piece of work there by Bairstow. Just dragged the foot. It was enough for Bairstow to remove the bails. Embry takes the wicket. Wood goes, stump Bairstow, bowled Embry for 112, and Australia now 3 out for 260. Smart piece of work there by the wicket-keeper on the end of a fine innings there from young Graham Wood from Western Australia. His first appearance in a test match in this country, here at Lord's, and he's celebrated with a magnificent 100. England players joining in the applause. Applause for a fine performance, and relief also to see the back of him. Only a slight little drag of the back foot. There he goes, just over the line. Enough for Bairstow to whip off the bails. And a smart piece of work by the Yorkshireman. Hughes down the wicket. Enough of this nonsense, he says. A couple of paces down and cracked it straight. Lovely shot. But this present spell of Embry here must be given a good deal of satisfaction in the Australian dressing room. And Hughes very quick on his feet there. Hendrick again to Yallop. He's away, just angling that in the direction of third man. There's no third man, of course, so Peter Woolley having a chase back from Gully. Sees Yallop safely off the mark. And spot of rain or two in the air here at Lord's at this precise moment. Nothing very much. Yallop facing Hendrick. That's well bowled. And he's out too. That goes the finger, and my word, Mike Hendrick has deserved that wicket. 267 for 4 now. Yallop goes for just 2 runs. And Hendrick collecting his first wicket here in his 25th over. Disappointment for Graham Yallop, just pushing slightly forward. So first wicket on the card there for Mike Hendrick. Yallop, LBW. Embry 1, Old 2, the other wicket takers. 1 for 46, Hendrick in 25 overs. Embry to bowl now. Hughes down the wicket, and a lovely drive through the covers for 4 more. Kim Hughes taking every available opportunity here to get down the wicket to Embry, kill the spin, and crash it on the half volley. And Boycott no chance of cutting that one off. A quicker ball, and once again Kim Hughes latching it onto it very quickly. At 4th through mid-wicket this time. Pitching leg stump. Another left-hander getting away through the gap between slip and gully. And Woolley again chasing back. 2 runs then to Alan Border to complete another Hendrick over. At the moment, the 2 umpires having a little look at the light, I think, out there. And quite surprisingly, they're deciding to come in. That really is a turn-up. Well, they've got their light meters, and crowd are not entirely happy, as you would imagine about this at 278 for 4. But they had a quick word with the batsman. If the batsman had opted to carry on, of course they could have done, but and rather surprisingly they've wanted to come in as well.
227 for 2 at the start, and the Australians finished up at 278 for 4 when bad light took them from the field. And then the rain came down, and there was no joy for anyone. It really was a very, very gloomy day, and particularly heavy shower around about 4 o'clock wiped out any further possibility of umpires' inspections or a chance of going on to 7:30. Graham Wood, the man out for 112 at the top there. A fine innings, a very good piece of stumping by David Bairstow. Nice to see Embry take a wicket there. And Graham Yallop, who's been out of form on the tour so far, LBW to Mike Hendrick for 2. Border and Hughes to carry on tomorrow. Again, Kim Hughes, really super little innings there today, picking up his half-century with that glorious shot, and really did play well with superb concentration. 82 not out, 278 for 4, and success there for Mike Hendrick, 1 for 48. Well deserved. He bowled well yesterday morning, bowled very well again today, beat the bat or found the edge on a number of occasions, and John Embury, 1 for 56. So the Australians in quite a strong position. I think the bookmakers have it right. The draw is probably the favourite way at the moment. It's something like 3-1 on the draw, and the Australians still in with a chance of winning, but that chance lessened because of the time lost today. We did say earlier in the programme that it was very much a time for reminiscence and for chat, and we were lucky enough.
1 for 46, Hendrick in 25 overs. Embury to bowl now. Hughes down the wicket, and a lovely drive through the covers for 4 more. And Boycott no chance of cutting that one off. A quicker ball, and once again Kim Hughes latching it onto it very quickly. Another left-hander getting away through the gap between slip and gully, and Willie again chasing back. That's short, a great shot, hooked away quite beautifully through the mid-wicket for 6. What a way to start the innings. Embury to Hughes. Oh, it's a lovely shot. Again, dancing down the wicket, catching him on the half volley and driving him very firmly between bowler and mid-off. Well, seems to no nervous 90s. He's on 95 now. Well, he's made contact with a sweep shot this time, a little finer. And Chris Holt jogs away. Does the fielding, 2 runs, and Kim Hughes goes on to 97. Very fine deflection there, and they'll run like stink here, I think, to make sure that Kim Hughes gets 3 out of it. Yes, he does. Good piece of running. Up goes the bat for Kim Hughes, and accomplishing a really fine performance here. Every Australian loves to make 100 here at Lord's. This is the first time it's happened to Kim Hughes, and what a good one it's been. 100 out of 299. And in very good time for a test match, 3 hours and 9 minutes, 2 sixes, 12 fours. And that's the 4th test century he's made. And, no change in the attack. Chris Holt to bowl again. That's nicely placed. All the covers just beating cover point. And that outfield doing its work quite well to say it's had so much rain. And tested him out there and has beaten Chris Holt 2 down at deep square. It's 4 more. That's another fine hook shot. Short again, and my word, he's put these away wonderfully well. That's the 3rd time he's cleared the ropes. That a little further up, he delayed the shot just a fraction of a second and put it a little finer than the other 2. Well, it's all over. Bill Ather comes in and takes the catch. Chris Holt has persevered. It's the end of a really brilliant innings here from young Kim Hughes. Out for 117. Caught Ather, bowled the Yorkshire combination. And 5 Australians are out now for 320.
Well, that's Rodney Marsh's first scoring shot. I'd say that is just about a typical Marsh get off the mark. Well, and that's the fast side of the ground. Very difficult to recover from any sort of misfield down there. 4 more to Alan Border. Well, that's not going to be easy if the fielder gets his hands near it, but in fact it's a good enough hit from Rodney Marsh to land the ball just a few yards inside the boundary. And that's a very good hit from Alan Border. It wasn't as short as the others, but it's most unlike Mike Hendrick to be so much astray in length and direction. There's a bit of spin there again for Embury. There should be something out there for Bright and Mallet. Once again, too short. On this pitch, there's just no profit at all in spinners not keeping the ball right up to the bat. That's a very good stroke. No one out the outfield there. Very, very good half-century to Alan Border. That's a good shot again. It wasn't all that short.
Australia declared at 385 for 5, basically trying to make some sort of game of it because 10 hours were lost to rain. 2 centuries were completed, a steady innings by Graham Wood and a fine innings by Kim Hughes. I remember one shot, he hit Chris Hall right on top of the members' pavilion for 6. Bowling wasn't easy. John Embury, you can see, 1 for 104.
An early start at Lord's, an 11 a.m. start, plenty of sunshine around, a marvellous weather forecast, and the players in the nets early on, an hour before the spectators even got here. For the spectators themselves, everything to cheer because, first of all, in this game they were able to see that great fast bowler, Dennis Lillee, steaming in from the pavilion end, bowling to Graham Gooch. It's the second ball of the morning. There's no addition to the score, and here now are Tom Graveney and Jim Laker. First run off the bat, Ray Bright, the fieldsman. Runs. Gooch goes to 5. He's gone. Ray Bright has picked him up. That was a good delivery. I'm not sure there was very much Graham Gooch could do about that. It was just in that awkward spot where he had to play at it, either that or take it on the shoulder. A lot of movement off the seam there. Floors in the background there for Lillee. Gooch the man out for 8, and Boycott is still not off the mark. He is now. Very nice for Bill Appy, off the mark. Good shot. Nicely timed and very well placed. If that wasn't 4, it must have been a very marginal thing. It just seemed to me that Yallop still had a foot outside the rope.
That's a good shot. Close chances had to see anything over pitch going in his direction. 3 runs there for Jeff Boycott. Takes his total now into 17. Oh, what a fine ball. Superb ball there from Lilly. Really gathered pace, cut back, lifted, did everything.
What a bowler this man is. On a wicket like this, where the ball has hardly moved, hardly done anything.
Lilly to Athi. Oh dear, dear, drugged it on. So Lilly strikes. What a power this man is in the land. A little bit unfortunate there, Bill, I think. See, he's just removed the leg bail and inside edge on, and England 41 for 2. Athi goes for 9, bowled by Lilly.
Here it comes. And Bill Athi forcing it, not quite right behind it. Just a little inside edge, dragged it down and just removed the leg bail.
That's a confident shot to get off the mark. Half volley, clipped quite beautifully. Lovely time shot through mid-wicket. Goes away with the boundary. Boycott really doing no more than just dropping the bat on it there. But to such good effect that he's picked up 2 runs and brought the 50 up. So it's Lilly again to Gower. Gower on to 7 now, and Lilly from the pavilion end. Oh, and that's a great shot. Magnificent shot. Hammered through mid-wicket. Beautiful Gower shot, takes him into double figures. He's on to 11. And the timing and the pace of the shot was absolute perfection. Just has that extra few seconds to see the ball. And it's Lilly again to Gower. Over pitch, beautiful drive. Gower hasn't moved an inch, and there's no need for him to run because he's cracked it straight for a second successive 4 off Lilly. And this is really vintage David Gower. A great pull shot followed by the glorious straight drive. Lilly again, the bowler. It's short again, and it's hooked around a little later this time, just behind square, but 3 absolutely glorious boundaries for David Gower. Goes on now to 19, thanks to 3 successive 4s of possibly the greatest fast bowler in the world at the moment.
It was a very good shot. The ball lifted quite sharply. Boycott still able to keep it down. A lovely shot. And this is a shot you don't see Jeff play very often these days. Short arm pull, which David Gower has played so well this morning against Dennis Lilly. Running for old rope, that one. He bowled so well until he dropped this one short. We've seen some lovely strokes from this fellow today.
good looking shot. Lovely piece of footwork too by Boycott, clipping that wider mid on. Always the shot of a very good player. Lovely piece of timing there by Boycott, and placement too. Oh, again, didn't quite make the sweep where he intended to. It's gone very, very fine indeed. Just be cut off by Ashley Mollett. It will bring 3 runs to David Gower, also bring the 100 up for England. 100 coming up in the 32nd over, and it takes David Gower on to 31. Well, it's a beautiful shot again. First chance Gower has had from the slow bowlers. Show his brilliance there. It was tossed higher and wider and cracked away square on the offside. Boycott finally gets it through off the last ball before Lance. They've left the gap for him, brought an extra man over, and Mollett dropped it short, and Boycott punished it away. Takes him on to 48 at the lunch break, and he's obviously enjoyed his morning here. He's played superbly well. Been in complete command ever since play began here at 11 o'clock. He goes into lunch up to 48 thanks to this last boundary. Quite beautifully put away.
It really was a marvellous session of play. I didn't miss a ball, either commentating or standing at the back of the box, and a real delight to watch Geoffrey Boycott and David Gower in that partnership that took England from 41 for 2 after those 2 early losses of Gooch and Athey along to 117 for 2 at lunch. Great innings, short innings from young David Gower back in the Test side, 35 not out, and Geoffrey Boycott 48 not out. Here's the first over after lunch. Ray Bright is the bowler. He bowled well and tightly before lunch. He's bowling to Gower, and with me in the commentary box is Tom Graveney. There's no deep square. There's a man at deep backward square, and that's just about the first sweep shot with which Gower has connected today. To Geoff Boycott. In fact, 2 runs to take him on to 51. And that's a very good innings, appreciated by this good 4th day crowd here at Lord's. Ron Crabbenbocker, that's in the Australian section, just near the tavern. Won't mean much to everyone at the ground, but it has Oz at the end. And that will be 5 runs. And the signal there is 5, and the reason for the 5 is that Rodney Marsh wasn't able to get the glove on the ball until it hit that helmet. And that's a little bit late to be getting it straight behind the wicketkeeper, but that's how it happened.
This is quite remarkable. A very airy-fairy loose shot from David Gower then.
Well, that is a mark of Lily's greatness, and I think when we see the replay we'll be able to mark David Gower down as being a little unlucky. I have the feeling that came down perhaps off inside edge onto the pad and then back onto the stumps. Dennis Lilly has taken all 3 wickets, and David Gower is out for 45. Oh, must be close.
And what a great performer this man is. And that was very close. fine shot from Mike Gatting. I seem to recall in his first Test match up at Manchester, he got off the mark something like this against the West Indies.
He is a great competitor. He's just bowled, he's in his 14th over now. And he's turned 30.
And that's a very strange shot, that. But what an effort from Dennis Lillee. Remarkable man.
And this is Bright to continue. And Boycott to continue as well. Just put that away quite beautifully again between cover and mid-off, and it's 4 more.
Right Honourable the Prime Minister, Mrs. Thatcher, in the background of that box.
And he's gone up for the catch, and it's completed. Boycott is out. Just a second's delay there from umpire Constance. If that ball had carried through to Rodney Marsh, it had done. And it's this man Lillee again. That 4 wickets, he's taken them all now. And the man that he dearly loved to see the back out of it has gone. Jeff Boycott out for 62, 151 for 4. And it really is a magnificent spell of bowling this from D. Lillee, who's at the moment playing England on his own. He's got that away all right, short outside the off stump, square cut. Now Gatting, he moves on to 12. That's hooked away high in the air, and he's going to be caught. And yes, he's caught in the second, third attempt as he dropped it. Both of them looked. Now it's safely held. Well, Graham Wood, the man there, chasing away. In and out, in and out. Bothum's heart stopped for a minute, but in the end he had to go. He's out for naught. 158 for 5. Pascoe takes his wicket. Well, what an unhappy time it has been for Ian Botham. Completely out of touch in that short, brief stay there. And obviously dead disappointed.
Well, I feel sorry for Ian Botham. I know how he feels. These things happen, and it wasn't really quite short enough. Graham Wood getting there, dropping it, and then catching it at the second attempt.
Right to Willie. That's a good positive way to get off the mark. Put very nicely through the onside for 4 runs. And that's very, very close. In fact, it's out. Peter Willie there looking absolutely plumb. Umpire Constant, no doubt or hesitation whatsoever. Peter Willie shaking his hands. He knows he was out. 163 for 6, and he goes. LBW to Pascoe for 5.
And I think here, done for pace.
And up goes the finger again. 2 on the trot. Answered in his favour. Gatting goes this time. LBW. England 164 for 7. Pascoe coming into the act in a big way here now. 3 wickets on the trot for Lenny Pascoe. And some real frights now in the England dressing room, because they've still got another 22 to make to save the follow-on. Only 3 wickets left now.
More of the total, 173 for 7 now. There's a good forthright blow from David Bairstow. Bairstow. A Yorker. And Bairstow goes the 8th wicket to go down with 173 on the board and still 13. And needed to save the follow-on. That's a good hit. Good shot again.
And as we thought, the English batsman at the right end, Chris Old, who's got a lot of shots against the spinners, and John Embry, who's prepared to battle it out against the quicks.
Great shot again. And they've got this just right, those two batsmen out there. Lovely clean hit that from Chris Old, again for 6. He took right over deep mid wicket for 6 last over. Now Mallett for 4 and 6. And Old has gone on to 22. Certainly Lilly will be with us from the pavilion end next over. And there'll be 2 more. 200 for 8. John Embry is taking a strike. And as you see, it only needs a touch of good captaincy to keep on someone like Lenny Pascoe. There's his 5th wicket, and it's a great, big-hearted effort. 200 for 9 now. And he's gone inside edge, onto pad. The England innings ends at 205. Hendrick, caught border, bowled Mallett 5. Chris Old is 24 not out. And Pascoe, in retrospect, did a great job in keeping Old away from the strike in that over. A lead of 180 for Australia on this 4th afternoon. Just 4 batsmen in double figures there. Top score for Geoffrey Boycott, and he played really well throughout that innings. Might just have been a little bit unlucky. Good one from Lilly that found the outside edge, 62. Gower I was most impressed with. It just underlines that he was dropped far too early from the England side. And then a brave innings from Chris Old at the end. Very sensible hitting that to take England out of the troubled area of a possible follow-on. Those 2 men in the bowling list there, Lilly and Pascoe, they dominated the whole thing, with Ashley Mallett just taking the 1 wicket at the end to dismiss Mike Hendrick. Can't speak too highly of Lilly's bowling today. I thought he was superb. 15 overs, 4 maidens, 4 for 43. Broke the back of the England innings. Lenny Pascoe, he was all at 6s and 7s when he was in from the nursery end. Had none for 44 off 10 overs, and then from another 8 overs, he took 5 for 15. And that really was a super combination. They left Jeff Thompson out of the side, played 2 spinners, and what an ironic game this is, when the spinner takes 1 wicket and the 2 pacemen pick up the other 9. Well, here now is the start of the Australian second innings. It's the 3rd ball of the innings, just 1 leg by on the scoreboard at the moment. Chris Old is coming in to bowl to Graham Wood, and your commentators, Tom Graveney and Jim Laker.
Oh, what a good ball too. Could have been 2 extremes there, 100 in one innings and 0 in the second. Just fractionally missing the outside edge. Wood facing Old. And beat them again. A fine opening over this from Chris Old. That's twice he's just gone past the outside edge of Graham Wood's bat. This is 1 out of the book. That, Sunday afternoon shot there, coming from Graham Wood.
This is one of the remarkable things about Wood in the first innings, in fact. Although he got a very good 100, it seemed that on every half hour he played the odd shot like that, but managed to get away with it. Seems like lack of concentration, perhaps?
That's a lovely way to get off the mark. Nice, pleasant half volley, but Bruce Laird made no mistake at all. Well, he launched himself into it. Everything was right. Foot was to the pitch of it, saw the gap, and cracked it through there. Well, that's Q stand here at Lord's, just alongside the pavilion, and that's where all the golden oldies, as they say, are in situ. And quite a number of them haven't missed a ball that's been bowled. And I must say one or two others haven't seen a ball that's been bowled. But they've all enjoyed it in their different ways. It's an unusual sight there, picking up that outside edge on the bounce. There is Geoff Boycott. Oh, there's trouble here. Just delayed. Well, umpire Constant was in a perfect position to see that. But Bill Ali just hesitated. He didn't know whether to let the ball go, take a chance, or wait for somebody to get to the wicket. There's Bill Ali with the ball in his hand. There's a long way. Just hesitated that little fraction of a second. But a very close decision there for umpire Constant. He's obviously very upset about something at the moment. We might just have time to see it again. The push forward, Laird coming down and then being sent back. Hopelessly stranded. There's the throw coming in. A very rough couple of days for both these umpires, of course. And Connie there had to go to bed pretty early on Saturday night. He had sedatives, and he was extremely upset with everything that went on here Saturday. Now a decision like that on top of it, and Albert saying, look, forget it, settle down, let's get on with the game.
And he's gone this time, the first victim for Chris Old. Coming in with the first ball of his 6th over, and Australia now 15 for 1, with Wood out. LBW to Chris Old. A little bit of a head shake there, but not in that area where there are only congratulations.
And here it is, and there's no doubt the ball would have hit the stumps. Graham Wood, with his little shake of the head, whether he thought he may have got a little inside edge on it or not, I don't know. But the ball certainly would have hit middle and off.
That's rather a militant start. No respecter of the whole business that the first ball should be treated gently. You could only have at the home of cricket a hill such as that would stop the ball going to the boundary. And he's gone. David Bairstow, a Yorkshire combination with Chris Old. 28 for 2 now. Laird goes for 6, and not a bad delivery, that.
It's edged away wide of the soldier slip. Just be a single. So 50 coming up for Australia. It's taken a little while. 26 overs we're in now. 25 of those to Chappell, 7 to Hughes. Botham to Chappell. That's short, that's hoisted away through mid-wicket. No effort whatsoever, 4 more. And precious little going right for Ian Botham. Embry to continue. And Kim Hughes going for the big one, looking to hit it into the crowd. And he's done just that. 6 runs into that mid-wicket area. and add it to the 3 sixes he hit in the first innings, Kim Hughes thoroughly enjoying himself here in this centenary match.
And that is a great picture. It's either the setting sun over Father Time, or it's the moon coming up in the background. Playing later here tonight than one would normally expect a Test match day at Lord's. Good shot. It's a lovely stroke. Nothing wrong with the light for that. Again, a lovely stroke from Greg Chappell, and the 100 comes up for Australia now, and they're moving along smoothly towards a lead of 300. I doubt if they'll make it by stumps, but they're now 280. At that stage, Kim Hughes and Greg Chappell had added 72 in that third wicket partnership, and a very good innings it was too. Some lovely strokes from both those players. They put on 6 more to take the Australian second innings at stumps along to 106 for 2. Laird and Wood, the men out. Laird caught Bairstow bowled old 6, and Wood, LBW, bowled old 8. Chappell 47 and Hughes 38, 106 for 2. An overall lead there of 286, and Chris Old, the only man to take a wicket, 2 for 24 in 13 overs, 4 maidens. A little bit of spin there for John Embury. Well, 286 on, and I estimate tomorrow that there's going to be a maximum of 95 overs available. That's an approximate figure. Could be 100 or it could be 90. But it seems to me that the game is nicely set up now for players and spectators, if you can have a test match that way, with the declaration coming, as there certainly will be from Greg Chappell. I estimate that England, in the end, will be asked to score something in excess of 50 runs per 100 balls. Not too many test teams have done that, and I hope Chappell doesn't bat on too long and destroy the game as a spectacle. I don't think he will, because he was eager for runs this evening. In fact, in one way, it was a pity the Australians weren't 300 on. That's from the spectators' point of view, perhaps not from the England bowlers' point of view. So tomorrow bids fair to be a fine end to the centenary test that's been dogged by ill luck, some frustrations, and a lead of 286 runs with 8 wickets in hand. No wonder Greg Chappell and Kim Hughes looked very, very happy when they came out onto Lord's. Welcome to the highlights of the last day of this Cornhill Centenary Test match, where the declaration was the thing that exercised everyone's mind. At what stage would Greg Chappell declare and perhaps set up the match for an exciting finish? Well, right from the beginning, on a perfect morning, England set defensive fields, as indeed they should have. Here's the third over of the day now. Embury is bowling to Kim Hughes. There have been 3 runs added, 109 for 2 it is now. And here's Tom Graveney with Jim Laker.
And lovely shot. He's backed away to the leg side, giving himself room. The gaps in this field are in the offside, and Kim Hughes quickly found it. Well, that's another fine shot. And again, footwork the essence there. And a great 50 once again from Greg Chappell. Building up on this great record he's got in Test match cricket. He's 25th, in fact 50 in Test matches. Come in just 2 hours. And Old again. Oh, what a tremendous shot. Marvellous stroke there from Kim Hughes. An enormous 6. Straight down the wicket. And what a wonderful way to go to a 50. Really, it's been a joy to watch this young Kim Hughes playing cricket here this year.
And this really is a magnificent shot. Look at the way he moves his feet and strikes right through there, head down. Beautiful stroke.
2 sixes and 6 fours in Kim Hughes' 50. Come off only 68 balls. And much quicker time than his skipper, just an hour and a half for his 50. And he's after Chris Old now. Swung that through mid-wicket for 4. Little Biff Bang stuff here now from Australia. Old again to Hughes. His eye once again on that shorter leg side boundary. Already popped a couple of earlier sixes over there. And he's bowling. Chappell goes, bowled by Chris Hole for 59, trying something out of the ordinary, sort of shot that he wouldn't dream of playing under normal circumstances. And the leg stump goes back. So Chris Hole has taken all the wickets that have gone down. 3 for him now. And Australia 139 for 3.
And here, Greg Chappell trying to run this down past David Bairstow. Just gets the bottom edge and drags it back in. But yet another gorgeous innings from the Australian captain. And applause there from his opponents, and very well deserved too.
Border away in confident style, lovely cover drive. But Athey covering that boundary. Keeps them down to 1. Confident shout going up from Bairstow. He was pushing this again in the direction of Gower.
And a magnificent piece of fielding there by David Gower. Very, very close indeed.
He was on 64. Roller House carved some glorious shots here this morning. And all bowlers coming alike to Kim Hughes. Simply just gone from strength to strength on this tour.
Another brilliant piece of footwork, beautifully timed. And although there are a lot of people on the boundary, there was no chance of anyone catching it.
Hendrick now to border. He too down the wicket, cracked one over the top. And he's gone for 6. Oh, that really was a big blow. Oh, look at the big smile all over his face. Gone up to Hughesy and said, look, you're not the only one. What about that? Both of them again to border. It's through this time. It's through all the way through for 4. Well, he raced again through extra cover.
Matches for Kim Hughes. That average now up over 41. It started this test at about 35. It's a really top-class test match. Kim Hughes making 117 and now 79 not out. .185 for 3. Botham and Old all tried to keep the scoring down today, but against that timing and precision, it's very difficult. He's into the 80s, 84, Kim Hughes. That's out. And I would say that it is absolutely plumb, and that's bad luck for Kim Hughes. He was on his way to a century in each innings at Lord's, and now comes the declaration from Greg Chappell. Difficult decision for Chappell there, because he would have wanted to give Hughes the opportunity of making 100 in each innings in a test match on this ground, and at the same time he wouldn't want to destroy the possibility of a great finish and the chance of his own side winning this centenary test. Kim Hughes, 2 wonderful performances here at Lord's, 117 in the first innings and now 84 in the second, late before we get to Ian Botham. Standing ovation, and well might there have been. I would think that this may well have clipped the back foot. And absolutely plumb it was. But what a marvellous innings, 84 to follow on that century in the first innings for Kim Hughes. This is a match he'll never forget. And the same applies to Graham Wood, although he missed out there, making 8 in the second innings following his century. Today, Greg Chappell, 59, and Alan Border, a very brisk 21. Some lovely strokes in that 21, and a good partnership with Hughes. The successful bowlers, Chris Old and Ian Botham. I thought Old bowled splendidly. The Australians were throwing the bat at everything out there and playing some magnificent strokes, and Old finished up with 20 overs, 6 maidens, and 3 for 47. A very, very fine effort from a chap who has consistently shown himself over the years to be a very fine bowler. The England second innings, here's the first ball now. That great fast bowler, Dennis Lillee, is coming in from the pavilion end. Graham Gooch is taking strike, and with me in the commentary box is Mike Smith. And there's a good start. As could be seen from the lack of life in the pitch for the England bowlers, it'll be no easy task for the Australians here. Yallop. No bother there for Graham Gooch. It's a very attacking field, so the open areas are there. That was a fine stroke. And that'll run away down to the boundary as well. But you wouldn't say that either of those were bad deliveries. Pascoe going for the swing.
Not quite a full half volley in either case, but Graham Gooch has stood his ground, let the ball come to him. He uses this big heavy bat, and he's timed it beautifully.
And again, it's another good shot from the Graham Gooch. Turned nicely off his legs. Ray Bright giving chase, just about to pull it up inside the ropes, and they go through for 3. So Boy got away. A couple of quite comfortable runs here for him. Certainly got a bit of lift and life there. Boycott doing extremely well to keep it down. Haven't seen too many in this match lift off short of a length like that. Belly to Gooch. And that's LBW, no question at all about it. And Lily's gone mad out there. Racing around, punching the sky. And this great bowler struck again, struck the vital blow, the early one, and Graham Gooch, who got away to such a tremendous start. Looking in great form, out for 16, England 19 for 1.
And a very good fast bowler's wicket again. He's got him on the back foot with the short ball, and he's pitched one up a little bit further and got Graham Gooch playing back, and he's nipped it back into him and beaten him for pace.
Accelerating up to the point of delivery, thumping it in. And the applause which he's become so used to in recent years, held in that early breakthrough. 3 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 3 for D.K. Lilly. Well, Pascoe's going to switch the attack now and come around the wicket. The sight screens down at the nursery end being adjusted to accommodate this new angle. And it's got away through that cordon of close catches for 4 runs. So no change as you would expect. It's Lilly again. And cries of horror again there. That only just away from third slip, races away for 4 runs. And back marches Lilly.
Not quite over it. Very close to getting out.
Not so much of milestones for Boycott. He's gone on to 11 now. That means that he's just pipped Don Bradman. That's in runs in tests. Just gone 1 ahead of Don Bradman, 6,996. And the only other surprising thing about Geoff Boycott is here we are in September and he hasn't yet completed 1,000 runs this season in first-class cricket. There's a few more towards it there. Pushed away very nicely off the back foot. Graham Yallop, the fielder, and they're not going to take any chances. So another little milestone reached. Coming up here, 2 and over. 13 runs he's got now, and that's exactly the number of runs he required to become the 4th player to score 7,000 runs in test matches. He joins an illustrious trio there of Sir Gary Sobers, Colin Cowdrey and Walter Hammond. Well, the first change sees Ray Bright coming on. One would think at the moment is it's not an easy task for Greg Chappell here today because he's got a limited amount of bowling. He's got to shuffle them around. One would think that he'd like to keep Lilly going for another couple of hours, then bring Pascoe back on at this pavilion end and have Bright to do a job for at least until lunchtime now down at the nursery end. 31 for 1, Bright to Athy. There's a nice full toss, which you'd be sorry didn't make better use of to get off the mark. Pascoe, the fielder, up mid-on. And Dennis Lilly got to change of scenery. He's gone from one end of this great ground to the other. My word, that was a quick one. That took Boyks completely by surprise. Really dug it in. And that's away, 4 runs. Nobody's going to stop that.
And what a marvellous temperament Geoff has got. He's just been rocked on his heels, and then the next ball he treats exactly on its merits and gets 4 from it, whereas someone else may have been disturbed by that very vicious bouncer that he got.
I was saying a while ago, Mike, that he hadn't got 1,000 runs this season. Well, he has now. That was his 1,000th run for the 18th consecutive season. And a no-ball bouncer again. And this time, Mr. Bird is on his way to consult with Mr. Constant about the number of bouncers being bowled in this over. Have you been counting them? And so, cut it out, that's enough, says Harold. And that makes a nice change. Pity he wasn't standing at Headingley when Boycott was receiving 4-4 and over. And he's gone, back pad catch, Pascoe strikes, and poor Bill who's battled away there, he only made a single in 35 minutes. He didn't wait for an umpire's decision, he was quick on his way, knew very well he got a little edge onto the pad, and caught by Laird there at short leg.
And a very fine catch. It looked as though he had plenty of time because it dollied up in the air a little bit, but he didn't. He had to come in on it.
And he's got it through the two gullies, no problem at all. Takes the first one quickly and almost ambles away for the second.
That's a nice piece of placement. That comes the half century for England. 51 for 2 now, and Boycott goes to 22. See Jeff Boycott play too many hook shots off Dennis Lilly, but that was a lovely stroke. That's 4 runs. This outfield has quickened up considerably as the game has gone on. .12 to Gower. John Arlott received a standing ovation when it was announced that he was just about to complete his final stint as a radio commentator on Test match cricket. That's 4. Very little chance of cutting off anything that's running down towards that tavern side.
That's a lovely shot for 4 runs. Always been one of Jeff Boycott's favourite shots, that square on the offside. And I thought to bowl anything short of a length there to him.
He really is a beautiful square cutter. Look at that. Right over the top of the ball.
Shot repeated. Just semi-stop there. But, 2 more to Boycott, takes him on to 49 and brings 100 up for England. 101 for 2, coming up at the end of the 28th over. That's turned away quite beautifully down to a long leg. Just the 2 runs this time for Gower. Perfectly placed through the 2 mid-wickets for Jeff Boycott's 50. 2's enough for him. He goes on to 51 and completes yet another Test match half-century. 39th in all. And just 2 hours and 8 minutes for that 50. Only received 100 balls and included 6 fours. And a fine effort by Geoffrey Boycott. Swept away quite beautifully down to a deep long leg, over the ropes for 4, and 1,000 runs for the season for David Gower. Precious few cheap runs on offer here. And he's gone. Well, another risky shot there from Gower. trying to force it away, never ever quite short enough. Mullett takes his wicket, the ball coming on. This time it's just the off bail which has been dislodged. Disappointing end to an innings which promised a great deal. And Gower goes again for 35, leaving England 124 for 3.
Now back off his long run, Dennis Lillee. And that'll be 4. Very fast down on that tap inside. That was a good start for Boycott. Take him on to 93.
Tossed up a little bit, down line of leg stump, but perfectly balanced.
Nice wristy flick off his legs there. Beautifully timed, nothing more than a little flick round those, brought in 4 runs. Should be an easy 2 there for Boycott. First one that's been pitched up, he's made most of it. Takes him now to within 2 runs of 100. That's it, beautifully placed, through mid-wicket for 4, and he's absolutely delighted. He's worried and threatened all the year to make 100 in the Test match, and it's come to him on his last available opportunity this season. But what a good one it's been. 102 out of 185 for 3, and getting applause from his teammates, and it really has been a first-class performance. 228 minutes, that's all, 11 fours. And that's his 19th Test century. And it goes on to be the 119th of his career. His 6th against Australia and his 2nd in first-class cricket this season. In fact, the first one only came in the Roses match the other day. And quite a pause whilst he raises a bat and acknowledges a great reception from this crowd.
The key question one must ask, is it out of the question to score 171 at about 6 and over with 7 wickets in hand? I think the answer to that must be no, it's not out of the question. That's down to 167 now. And up comes the 200. 203 for 3. Their scoring has been quite brisk all the way through, admittedly against very attacking fields. But they're just fractionally below now. 71 overs have gone, 216 runs on the board. Beat the bat by a good 3 or 4 inches. And there's a good shot from Mike Gatting.
Well, Boycott's not bothering to run. He's saving any energy he might have left. It goes straight through for 4 runs. 4 going on to Gatting's score now, making him 46. And the short one hooked away, backward of square there. And 4 runs for Mike Gatting. So he's been in quite some time for his 50s, battled away there. Received 147 balls. And that 50 has taken 2.5 hours. That's it, up come the stumps, it's all over. this centenary test match ends in a draw with at close of play here on the final day. Boycott undefeated, the bat goes up, he's got his souvenir stamp, he races in, he's got 128 to his name. His partner Gatting has got 51, and England have gone through to 244 for 3.
Valuable support there for Geoffrey Boycott from Mike Gatting, who made 51. Good half-century that, and that'll stand him in good stead in the future of his test match career. 120 the partnership there at the close of play, and after the close, Peter West talked with the two captains, Greg Chappell and Ian Botham.
So everybody wandering away from this famous ground at the end of an historic occasion. How do you look back on it, Greg?
Well, considering the weather in the early part of the game, I think we did well to get as close as we did to getting a result. So all in all, I think it was a tremendous game and one which I enjoyed playing in, and fitting of the occasion.
Yes, really, we ran out of time, didn't we, Ian?
I don't know, there was one stage where we couldn't get the clock moving fast enough, but as it turned out, after all the hard work that was done, I think it was the right result, really.
Greg, I hope you'll allow me on behalf of all cricketers to congratulate him on his appointment as skipper in the West Indies this winter.
Thank you very much.
I just wonder whether you'd like to take this opportunity of getting your own back on everybody who's been criticising you for having a bit of trouble and, so they say, a bit overweight.
Well, you're open to criticism when you're in this kind of job, so I've just got to accept it, and I'm going to work very hard now on my fitness, and just the best answer is to put it in the book, and I'll just work hard for this winter's tour, and next summer, of course.
Greg, everybody is looking forward, full tour of Australia here next summer, and let's hope that it will be more kindly treated by the weather.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. I think full tour of England is the tour that all Australian cricketers really looked forward to more than anything else. So, hopefully, God willing and everything else, I might be back again for another tour next year. But I'm playing each season by ear at the moment, so I'll see how we go in the Australian summer next year and worry about April, May next year.
And I think a player who might just accompany was a man who's got the Man of the Match award, Kim Hughes. Well played, Kim.
Thanks very much, Peter. Thank you.
Can you come around a little bit, if you'll excuse me, skipper. Thanks very much indeed. Kim, you are in a wonderful run. You needed a few, and the one day credentials got you going.
Yes, I was batting like a third grader to start off with, Pete, in the three-day games, and we were just so lucky in the game. The first Prudential Cup, I nicked one of the first balls off it and got dropped, of all people, by Mike Hendrick. Managed to scratch around for a while and got a 70, and then got a 90, and then that culminates in this game. So it's amazing how quickly it can change, one way or the other.
Must be a nice feeling to be man of the match, the first test match you've ever played here.
Yes, that's right. I think the team played really well, and naturally to play as well as I think I've ever played, and in such an important game, I'm pretty rapt, absolutely rapt.
Look forward to seeing you next summer.
Yeah, I'll be here again next summer. I look forward to batting here once again. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Well, that young man certainly will be returning here next year for the 1981 to the battle for the Ashes. He'll be coming along as vice-captain to Greg Chappell, who is also available for that tour. Kim Hughes played two marvellous innings in this match. If you can bat as well as that on one occasion or two occasions, you can do it on many more, and I regard him now as one of the potential greats of Australian cricket. He joined a select little band, incidentally, today. Jaisamir in 1970, the Indian player, batted on all 5 days of a test match. Boycott did the same thing at Trent Bridge in 1977 when he made his comeback, and in the centenary test match, Kim Hughes batted on all 5 days. Well, England set a target of 370, found it far too much for them, 244 for 3. Boycott, splendid innings at 128, Gatting 51, but am I alone in thinking that perhaps more of an effort should have been made to go for that 370? I still think that England could have got themselves into what amounted to a limited over situation, 20 overs to go, and 140 runs needed, 7 and over, and if they'd been playing in a World Cup situation, they'd certainly have had a dash for it. Lilly, 1 for 53, Pascoe 1 for 73, 1 for 61 against Mallett's name, and Raymond Bright none for 44, but he bowled very tightly and well. The Australians found the pitch just a little bit too good for them in the end, and that I think underlines the remark I made earlier. I really couldn't believe that England could be bowled out, and therefore I can't really see why they couldn't have a little bit more of a dash for that 370. At any rate, there we are. That's old captains talking. The modern day ones have their own ideas, and they're the ones who can put them into practice. That's the end of what has been a marvellous week. Centenary Test match in 1977 in Melbourne was matched by this one. There was no contest for organisation. You didn't have to try and match it in that regard, but it was a great week, and there was some very, very good cricket played here at Lord's over the 5 days. Unfortunate incidents on Saturday, criticism justified, I think, of the authorities for not covering the vulnerable parts of the pitch area and resulting in loss of time, but basically a great week, one of nostalgia and reminiscence, and one that will be remembered by everyone, and particularly by the two men who had the honour and the pleasure of leading their teams, Greg Chappell and Ian Botham.